All right, everyone. Today we're going to be learning about the eras of Japan's history. Japan's history goes back 12,000 years total. So today we're only really going to break it down into four big chunks. And those chunks are on early Japan, the Heian Age, feudal Japan, and the Tokugawa shogunate. And those four eras, they comprise of what most historians would say the majority of Japanese history. Japanese history has some deep, rich culture to it, and it's far more than we can go over in just a few days. But we're going to try and take a look at each of these chunks. And as I explain them and go through the slideshow, I expect you guys to be filling out your eras of Japan worksheet. So the first one we're going to talk about is early Japan, and it starts all the way back 10,000 BC and goes up to 250 AD. And during this time, Japan is mostly just hunter gatherers and fishermen. Now, if you think back to last year, sixth grade, you should have a good remembering of what a hunter gatherer is and what their day to day life is like. We're talking about people that they woke up, their focus was, what am I going to get to eat? Where's my food? They hunt, they gather, they go to sleep, they wake up the next day, and they do it again. And that's how Japanese history was for the first 10,000 years of its existence, from 10,000 BC all the way up to 250 AD. And that is a pretty significant chunk of time. If you think about it, at that time, the rest of the world is advancing. You've got inventions being made in Europe and Greece, Rome, China, all of these great civilizations are flourishing, and Japan is hunting, gathering, and fishing. So Japan, in a lot of ways, is late to the game. And on this slide here, you can see an example of what they would have lived like during this time. This is a portrayal of hunter-gatherers living in a clan system. The early Japanese lived in clans. These were groups of family members that were loyal to each other. The clan system will evolve and eventually become, even still to this day, a pretty significant force. But they could only get so big. Think about it. When you have a clan, a group that gets to be over 50 or 60 people large, hunting and killing just one deer, for example, is not going to be enough. So these would fracture. So it was not sustainable for large civilizations. But during this time, there is one other significant advancement, and that was back at this slide here. Shinto becomes the major religious force in the region. And even till this day, Shinto is the largest religion of the Japanese. And it's this religion that believes there's a supernatural force in all objects. It's kind of like the force in Star Wars, similar idea that everything has this supernatural force, this life to it, and it's all about the relationship between you and this force. So if you look here for this symbol right here that you see, this is a very famous Japanese landmark that is connected with Shinto, and you can see it's all about the merger of the natural elements between the water to the sky, and it's a huge statue. This is actually on their currency as well. So Shinto, even still to this day, is very Japanese. It's unique to Japan. There's not a lot of other religions found within Japan. But during these early years, this is when Shinto begins. All right. So looking back to your worksheet here, you should be filling in these things. Like I said, first 10,000 years, think about it. That's a long period of time. That's a period when we have inventions all across the world, cities moving forward. And like I said, the Japanese are hunting and fishing. So they are late to the game in a lot of ways. So that was the first of the era.